My name is Daniel Green. I'm co-producer and engineer for Coldplay, and I'm currently mixing their live shows on the Milo Xyloto tour. Well, it's the legendary Hollywood Bowl. So many great concerts happened here, and it's a great sounding place and just a great vibe all around. The desk is a Digico SD7, which is like the main hub for everything. Obviously, being able to host Waves plugins is a great feature, and also the snapshots, the amount of inputs and outputs that we can have now, and we've got a system where we pre-mix the broadcast sound, for TV shows, etc., off of this desk. So I can send the other co-producer, Rick Simpson. He mixes the live TV shows. So I send him sort of like some pre-mixes of certain things, and obviously that's all got my Waves processing going on. We've got two servers. We've got one on this side and another one here, and obviously the Waves plugins, which are used extensively on the desk. For Chris's vocal chain, we've got the 660 compressor, which goes into an HEQ and then into a C6 just to catch any unwanted frequencies, which I can dynamically EQ. I really love the HEQ at the moment. I find that the visual feedback on that's really great, and the C6 is always a favourite to get me out of trouble. Electric guitars, we've got, in fact it's exactly the same. Yeah, the 660 into the HEQ into C6. Bass guitar is into the Silverface 1176 into a HEQ. With the drums, I tend to take, like say both kick drum mics, route them into a group and then process them both together. So with that, I've got the API 2500 into just for some general compression, and then into the HEQ for further EQing, and the same with the snare. On the main mix, I've got the SSL compressor and followed by a SSL EQ. So just to add a bit of extra top end and a bit of extra bass. I just really like the way it glues everything together. It's just got a nice sound. With our setup in the studio, we don't really have an analog console, so to speak. We normally just have like a great set of mic amps into the box, and then a lot of the processing is done with Waves plugins. I think with live concerts, they're slightly different to records, whereas with records you can have lots of different details and space for lots of different sounds. I think with concerts, you've got a limited amount of things that you can actually project through the PA. So I just tried to get the main elements like the vocals and have a nice solid bass and drums, and if Johnny does a nice melody or something, then you can hear that. So just trying to bring out the main elements of the song. The plan is to hopefully go through all of the concerts and maybe at some point put together a good live record. Yeah, our record has just come straight off of our desk, the SD7, and just straight into our Pro Tools system. Yeah, it's quite a simple setup. Well, Waves are, they've been doing it for so long and they're specialists in that field, so they've just got so much experience and brilliant emulations on their analog models, and just really great high quality products. Well, mainly I think through computer-based music. Everyone can have the same tools now. So if you go to do a show, like you can take your plug-in settings if you choose, use the same plugins as you do on your laptop or on your Pro Tools rig in the studio, and I think people now have got more opportunity with using high-end tools that they didn't have before.